it's been a long road in terms of the 58 years. And the general feeling is that this has been victory, not just for BCP, but also for UDC, having crossed the Rubicon, if we may. What is your take on that? Do you think this is, I haven't asked you, what does this mean for Botswana, where the previous opposition party, one becomes the ruling party, one becomes the main opposition. Basically, you've almost taken over.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big thing even for us as the BCP, even though we have not won. For your democracy to mature, it has to go through certain stages. It's just like a boy becoming a man. The numbers just don't change. There's a time when we expect you to get your beard. So our democracy has also grown in that we have passed the test. Yes. It was important. We not only did we have change, but we have seamless change. A shift of power from one party to another. It's not something that happens easily in a lot of countries. And it's not only, we used to think it's only in Africa. But we know even in the US, you could have a loser who sulks and seeks to reverse the will of the people. Beyond that, it's also a big lesson for the voter. I have been around quite some time in politics. And I remember talking to a young student in 2004 when I contested for elections for the first time at the University of Botswana. And this student was asking me, why are you saying I should vote? And I said, but it's the only way you can effect change. He says, why do you think a vote can bring change? And my response obviously was, but why don't you think it can bring change? And no, I grew up in Madinar. When I was in primary, and this is said without any bad faith, when I was in primary, my MP was Ricky Dikil. When I was at JC, my MP was Ricky Dikil. When I was at secondary, my MP was Ricky Dikil. I'm here at university. My MP is Ricky Dikil. Chances that when I start working, my MP will be Ricky Dikil. But there have been votes every time, voting in my constituency. So what change are you talking about? Then this was a big issue. Can a vote bring change? So that discussion has now been, that debate has been settled. Another one that many people may not necessarily relate with, the difficulty we face Komagae. Where people were saying, you want to take over government, but where are you going to get the funds? If we take the BDP out, they move out with their funds. How are you going to pay salaries?
Say the funds belong to BDP.
The funds belong to BDP. So it was an important lesson also for the general populace out there. They now know these diamonds are not for any party. So when they vote, there will be no fear. But what if the owner of the diamonds goes So a lot of debates have been settled by this outcome.
That's interesting. I mean, it sounds so pedestrian.
Yes.
But that's the blatant truth. Am I right? You guys have seen it. Have seen it. Have smelt it.
Yes.